Okay. Eagles, Bears.
Not
Bears are
even looking
favorite.
forward to it, I guess, huh?
No, I'm not. I'll tell you why in a second. So Bears by 6, over under 41. This is the only game of the weekend that's not a rematch of a game that was played earlier in the season. Injury-wise, Michael Bennett didn't practice Wednesday, Thursday for the Eagles. We're going to need to watch him. Bears, Eddie Jackson was hurt last week. He missed Sunday's game. I think he's got an ankle injury, but he's ready to play. So the Bears defense probably needs that. So Philly's won 5 out of 6, including 3 with Nick Foles. And they were close to dead. You know, people writing them off. The Vikings helped them out by just being a complete disappointment. I'm still angry about that. That's one of my Super Bowl picks, so I'm still angry about the Vikings. The Bears, on the other hand, have won 9 out of their last 10. The only game they lost was overtime at the Giants with Chase Daniel quarterbacking. The Bears have been 7-1 at home, both straight up and against the spread. The only game they lost was that game against the Patriots. The Bears defense, I mean, I'll just list them up. First in points against, first in yards per play against. They were terrific. You know, they were just really they're a defense dominant team, but their offense, Trubisky, they're just kind of okay, right?
Yeah.
How okay? How much? Here's the trust thing again, and trust is a relative word, sure. You trust Trubisky not to screw this up at home? They try not to let him. They try to take the ball out of his hands as much as they can.
I don't know if I trust Trubisky. I trust the Bears defense.
Yeah.
And, you know, that has obviously been helpful to Trubisky this year. The fact that he can kind of lean on them indirectly. I guess you asked me if I trust Lamar Jackson, and I do to a certain extent. I trust him more than I trust Trubisky.
Okay.
I don't. If I'm the Bears, I don't want to get into a shootout. But the way the Bears defense plays, they don't have to usually worry about that kind of stuff.
Right.
So I think I don't know. Then you look at Super Bowl winning teams, and you basically, for the most part, need an elite quarterback. I mean, there are some exceptions to that rule, and obviously last year we can talk about whether or not Nick Foles is an elite quarterback. I think I'm not sure anybody would say that he's an elite quarterback. But you need a quarterback who gets hot. I mean, Joe Flacco won Super Bowl by playing some of the most amazing football ever in that 3 or 4 game stretch a few years ago. Nick Foles was hot last year.
Yeah.
Can Trubisky get hot like that? I'm not sure. And if he can't get hot, I have a hard time believing the Bears will go far into the playoffs. So I guess from that aspect, do I trust Trubisky? Not really.
So yeah, me neither. When I talked to Ryan on the other day about this, the thing about Trubisky is I can't say I trust him throwing the ball. I love when he runs the ball, and I think that when quarterbacks are good runners, people kind of look at it. I've said this about Cam Newton before. People kind of look at it as this cherry on top of the cake or the icing on the cake, and I look at it and I go, "This is like a big part of the cake." You know, it's not just, oh, it's so cute that he runs. This is a really good runner, and it matters. It helps. I mean, the last few weeks he hasn't run a ton, but yeah, that's a huge factor because he can just on plays that break down, he can extend drives.
Yeah,
it's a huge deal.
Yeah, and obviously that we see that as a more of a trend. I mean, Kaepernick and Russell Wilson, and now you see it from a lot of teams that have these quarterbacks who can run. I mean, we just talking about Lamar Jackson. You're looking at even Josh Allen in Buffalo has that ability. It's certainly become more of the trend where you have these quarterbacks that can do other things other than just pass. Now, whether or not that affects their greatness as a quarterback, I guess is up to the question. The 3 guys I mentioned, I don't think anybody's looking at those guys and saying, "Well, that's a great quarterback," but it is helpful at times. And you're right, Trubisky is fun to watch when he runs. It's his kind of escapability from the pocket is impressive. And do you trust Trubisky throwing the ball in a situation, or do you trust him being a pocket passer? No, but I mean, I think if you're going to say yes to that question, I know neither of us said yes, but if you're going to say yes to that question, it's because he has that escapability and he can run the ball. So in that aspect, you'd rather have him run the ball in a tough situation than throwing it. Maybe you trust him a little bit more, I guess.
All right. On the other side of this one, Philly doesn't run. I mean, they don't run well. They've had running back injuries. They've had offensive line injuries. They just haven't run the ball well all year. Okay. The Bears stopped the run. Philly's going to have to win through the air. And this is another thing I said earlier in the week. Nick Foles, it makes me look stupid generally. Like I look and I go, come on, he's not that good. Last year in the Super Bowl, like the Patriots are going to figure this guy out. Come on. It's Nick Foles. He's just okay. And he's probably better than I thought, but he's not that good. I mean, basically, you're talking about going into Soldier Field against probably the best defense in the league and putting this game on his shoulders. I don't know. I don't think I mean, he could. We've seen it before. He's been, an excellent quarterback in big spots last year. I mean, he led the team to the Super Bowl. And 2 of those 3 games, they lit it up on the scoreboard. But I think this is a big ask out of Nick Foles to go beat the Bears with a team, like I said, with a team that basically can't run.
There seems to be a little bit of magic that surrounds Nick Foles. I'm not sure what it is. And he's had stretches during his career where, he's been really, really good, even though he is kind of the consummate backup. I mean, when was it 2013 in Philly? He went through that ridiculous streak where he didn't throw an interception. It was like 17 touchdowns and no interceptions, something weird like that. So I mean,
he was 27-2 for the season.
Yeah. And he led the league in quarterback rating that year, and he went 8-2 as a starter in 2013. So it's not he's not just a flash in the pan from last year. I mean, you look at his record for the rest of his career, it's not that great, but he has shown that ability. I don't know. It just seems like there's some kind of magic around him when he's a starter late in the season, and you can't explain it. It's like Tim Tebow in a way. Remember Tim Tebow every week would be awful all game long, and then do some ridiculous thing at the end of the game. The Broncos would win the game. I think Foles is a better quarterback than Tebow, but there is some kind of magic surrounding these guys. It's really interesting. It's really fun to watch. So it's hard for me to – I got picking the Bears straight up, but I'm giving the Eagles a point just because I think Foles will make it close.
I don't believe in the Eagles. I don't believe in the way they played down the end of the season, and I think the Bears are gonna work them over. I think 24-7 kind of thing. I really do. And Nick Foles, I'm hoping that Nick Foles proved me wrong because it's happened.
It's happened every week, right? Have you picked the Eagles yet with Foles at quarterback this year?
I don't know. I can check that now, though. Hold on. Let me see what we got here. You can
do that on Pickwatch now. You can actually look individual riders.
Yes.
How they picked this year.
We're going to do that right now. And we're going to see what my success rate has been with the Eagles. So let's see. Top teams, bottom team. I got to go week by week, right? Let's go week by week here.
Great radio.
All right, it is. No, this is an interesting one though. I picked. Let's see. Did I pick the Eagles this past week? Who'd they play last Sunday? The Redskins. I picked the Redskins. Right? Yeah.
That was not a good pick.
No, that was not a good pick. The week before. How about this? You tell me who the Eagles played in a week going backwards, and I'll tell you who I picked.
All right, let me get there.
Hold on. I can get this. Okay, so right now, week 16, I picked against them. They played Houston in week 16. And I picked the Texans. No, I picked the Eagles. There you go. I picked Nick Foles in week 16. So we don't have to go far.
Okay.
See?
I imagine you didn't pick the Eagles against the Rams in week 15. But
I did not.
But, I mean, that you can be forgiven for that.
Yeah, I know, but that was such a shocker. And that was a great game. There's another one, Nick Foles. Like, what the heck is Nick Foles doing? Going to LA and tearing apart the Rams. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said,
none of these defenses he's played against, and we talked about the Texans' pass defense has not been good, and he lit them up. The Rams aren't known for their great defense, and the Redskins aren't known for their great defense. So he's done it against defenses that are not great against the pass. This week will be different, so that's something to consider as well.
He's got four interceptions and 5 starts, by the way.
He's terrible, man.
just point it out.
No, I know. No, you're right, but I think was he throwing 6 touchdowns? I think it's like 6-3 the last couple of games.
It's 6-3 the last 2 games. Yes.
Yeah. So not great, but not terrible. But he's throwing for a lot of yards, that's for sure.
The game at the Rams was great. The game at Washington was good. Early in the season, he played. Remember, he started the first 2 games, and the first game against Atlanta was a low-scoring game. He threw for 117 yards and a pick. And then they played the Bucs, who were terrible. So I don't know. I'm not a believer. I like the Bears at home. I think the Bears are a really good team, and I think the Bears are the type of team that could go to the Super Bowl. Like I said, I don't trust Trubisky, but that defense is really strong. And as long as they keep Trubisky in situations where the game's not on his shoulders, I think they'll be okay. I'm curious if them going to play the Rams next week. If they win, that's a fascinating matchup.
Yeah, for sure.
So, all right. So right now, so you're going Eagles to cover, the Bears straight up. I'm going Bears to win and cover. Right now on NFLPickwatch.com, we're going to go against the spread, expert against the spread. So fans against the spread, 54% Eagles, and experts against the spread are 64% Eagles. So I'll be hanging out with the Bears and a few other people on one side. See how it goes. So Josh and I disagreed the trends here, the way the season's been going, Josh basically made up huge ground and passed me late in the season. He was really strong late in the season. So if you trust that this is going to continue, stick with Josh and not me, because we disagree on every game.
Looking at the right time, like good playoff teams do, is what I've been doing.
That's right. So again,
straight up, let me just say this straight up, the expert, I'm not looking at the fans, but straight up the experts, 85% for the Bears. So